Is it a bit too 1970s? And is that a bad thing? Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be asking, do we need denim as well as emeralds? I'm Amelia and I love all things beauty, so please join me and let's get the fun started. I bought two of Charlotte Tilbury's Beautifying eye trends, £49, $60, made in Italy, and they've got an 18-month shelf life. Emerald Effect, which is basically what Charlotte Tilbury calls shades of mint, emerald and olive. So here I am, I'm putting in shade number 3, which is the sort of the browny shade, and just putting that in the crease, just so the greens have got something to kind of root themselves into. I have to say this is something that I like about this palette, because it has got these earthy tones, so you're not just left with a kind of wicked green. Then using as an eyeliner, it's shade number 8. It's a lovely greeny green with some shimmer in. It's really, really lovely. This is a Crystal Pop. So I'm using that as eyeliner. I'm actually following the makeup artist from the Charlotte Tilbury app. It just looked so lovely on the model. I thought it was worth a go. So as I said, lining with a lovely green shimmery shade, both lower and upper eyelids. And that's my eyeliner. So nothing darker than that shade. Minimal fallout, I have to say. I mean, there was a little bit of fallout, but just not very much. I'm always tapping off though, having said that, tapping the brush, as you can see. And actually the brush that I'm using, which you should know, is a Refa 03, which is just a teeny tiny brush. And going in quite carefully, because I'm not really sure how pigmented this colour is, but it's actually really pigmented. I was just a bit tentative because I just wanted to, you know, experiment a bit. And then that lovely champagne colour, which is actually a Diamond Dimension, that's going all over the lid. And that's going on with a Refa 02. Quite a lot of shimmer there, which I really like. And again, not patchy at all. And it went on really nicely with the brush. I didn't have to use my finger, which is great. And now just that 6th shade, just to deepen up just the corner a little bit, add a little bit more depth, just a little bit more dimension. I'm using the slightly lighter shade just on the lower lid. So I'm mixing shades 3 and 4 just to get into the crease, and again to give the brighter shade something to kind of root into. Blending really smoothly, no patchiness. I mean, that's the thing, none of these shades so far on the greens have been patchy or tricky in any way. I'm using my normal Refa brushes, I'm not doing anything different, but they're definitely blending really, really well and really easily. I'm taking my time, and I'm also trying to show you I'm showing you all the colours that are in the palette so that we can test them. I probably in my normal life would not be using quite so many shades, and one would hope that I'd be using the same shadows on both eyes. But here we are at the bottom. I'm just lining my lower lid with its shade number 5, and again lining the upper lid with shades 4 and 6 together, kind of blending them, and it's not really showing up on my eyes as an eyeliner. It was different with the other eye because that was a lovely bright colour, but these browns are lovely and soft, but they're not that deep, certainly for my quite dark skinned eyes. And now lining the lid with this really lovely number 5. It's an olive shade with some beautiful shimmer. It's a crystal chrome. It's really lovely and it shows up really well. And again, no fallout. I haven't put my concealer on below my eyes because I'll do that afterwards just in case there's some fallout, but nothing's fallen out, so that's great. I'm using that same number 5 to go underneath the eyelid as well to kind of unify it. It's going on really nicely. And just seeing if I can put a bit more lightness on the inner eye. Again, having another little go. I'm trying to have another go with the eyeliner. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not deep enough. So here we have the 2 shades. We have shade number 6 just swatched on, and then next to it with the setting spray. Look how much deeper it is. So using the setting spray with shade number 6, dampening the brush with the setting spray, and then going straight in, and it's much, much deeper. So that's the deepness I want. Then I'm going to use the number 9, this really lovely kind of turquoisey diamond dimension. It's really a party topper, but it didn't go in with the brush at all, even though the first party topper, the really champagne-y shade on the other eye, went in fine. But here I'm using my finger to go on top, and it's giving a real pop of colour. That's really lovely and very different to the other eye. Just blending it in a little bit. And there are the two eyes. I'm going to go off and put some mascara on and show you the finished looks. Here are the two looks. So this is the first one, which is with the sort of champagne-y shade. You can have a look at that. And this is the second one, which is sort of deeper. And remember, this is where I had to use the setting spray for a sort of a deeper brown line, which is sort of what I prefer. I'm actually really impressed with these. They're really good. The only thing that I would say is the colour that I particularly love is this one here, and that was tricky to get on. I could get on with my brush, even though it's the same formula as the champagne-y colour that I used on this eye. Kind of wouldn't go on. I did it with my finger and that was absolutely fine, but I'm just sort of commenting that that's sort of not as easy to use as the champagne if you're somebody that perhaps doesn't want to necessarily use your finger. And also if you've got long nails, I mean mine are quite long, it can be tricky. So that's kind of worth knowing. It's super wearable because even though I've got quite a green look on, I mean I've really gone for it. I used all the colours so you get, you know, a real sense of what all the colours are like. What I really like is look how many earth tones there are. There's a lot there. It can be a really kind of neutral or natural palette, and then you just put a little bit, choose your poison, choose one of the colours that you particularly like, and just put those as a kind of one and done on the lid. So I do think it's really super wearable. It's actually green, but not as we know it, and it's actually a very good, I would say, green for somebody who hasn't used a green palette before. I really like Sorcery palette, but that is more full on. That's much more green and punchy. There's only 2 shades that are very, very similar. I've put them here. So here we have the ones from the Emerald Effect and its very near neighbour from Lisa Eldridge, and the same here. We've got the sort of the limey colour from Charlotte Tilbury, and then next to it the one from the Lisa Eldridge. Otherwise, they are totally different palettes in terms of the hue and the colour story, simply because there's a lot of kind of silvery greys and there's a fantastic cobalt blue in the Lisa Eldridge, whereas Charlotte Tilbury's, as I've said before, much more earthy tones. I would question whether it's emerald. I don't think you're getting emerald tones from them. I mean, I appreciate it's an interesting marketing thing, but I wouldn't say they were emeralds. They're not greeny greens. They're more like yellowy greens. They're softer. They're actually softer to wear. And now on to Denim Dimensions, which Charlotte Tilbury's marketing team describe as a dreamy, serene energy in a palette, as opposed to the Emerald Effect palette, which is called Lucky Magic Energy in a palette. So clearly energy is the name of the game for them. So I'm going to go into the central one here, which is just a lovely matte, just to see if I can just root the colour into the crease with a matte shade. I'm kind of used to doing this normally with a sort of a neutral shade, but let's see if it works with this, because we haven't really got any, well, we haven't got any neutrals in this. That's very smooth. Then I'm going to go into this one, which I might actually see. I'll see if I can use a brush with it, otherwise I will use my finger. This is a satin. It's fine with a brush. That's lovely. That's got a really lovely light bluey lilac colour to it. It's beautiful. I was put off by blue palettes for a long time because I think they're quite difficult to get so that the formula blends really nicely. So I've been hitherto pleasantly surprised with this one, so I hope it carries on with all of the shades. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this one, which is a crystal pop. So that's the deeper sort of shimmer. It's got depth to it. Then I'm going to use use this one here, which is Diamond Dimension. It's a topper. Oh, lovely, look at that. Can you see that? It's not got a shift, it's just got very deep shimmer. It's lovely. It's got that wet look effect, which is lovely. Then I'll put some of this satin, which is very white, like the spray on snow on a Christmas tree. Although paradoxically, I think these colours are going to be lovely for summer. They've got that sort of beachy evening quality to them. Then I'm going to go into this dark, dark navy. I've just put on the liner here. I have to say this is deeply pigmented, which is lovely. So unlike in the Emerald Effects palette where I needed to use the fixer spray, the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, this just doesn't need any help at all. It's very self-sufficient, so that's good. Let's see what else we can put on. What I'll do is I'll put a little bit of this one here, which is the Diamond Dimension again. And I think what I might do is I'll put a little bit here. Let's just see what happens if we put it on the brow for an evening look. Is it a bit too 1970s? And is that a bad thing? Let's keep that. With mascara, it'll probably look okay. And so that's one look. Let's have a look. So now on to the next one. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go straight in with this one here, which is a Crystal Chrome, which is the opaque, very crystalline shades. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to pick it up with a brush. Yeah, it's going on. Then the Crystal Pop. That looks good. These are great fun and very blendable. And actually, I don't know whether this makes sense. I don't feel I have to particularly think with this palette because it kind of feels like everything goes together. You know, as long as I mix a mixture of satin and one of the shimmers, then they're going to blend together nicely. It does happen to me where shimmers just don't blend into mattes, and that's just annoying when you just want everything to work and you don't want to have to spend an hour worrying about blending. I'll just put a little bit of this. It's becoming fast becoming a favourite, this one here, this satin. It's great for the inner corner, just to brighten everything up. And I think what I'll do is I'll use this one as the liner shade this time, and let's see if it's dark enough. There's enough of a difference between the two, as you can see there. Yeah, it's showing up. We'll have a look at the amount of fallout. I mean, I can see a bit here, but not an enormous amount. And as I said, there wasn't any with the Emerald Effects. Just using this one here. Yeah, there has been a bit of fallout there. I've done quite a glamorous look. I'm sure I could have done a lighter, more office friendly, school run friendly, life friendly look, but this way you get to see all the colours. If I look at this palette, what I could do is just use something like that shade there as a one and done with a little bit of navy, this as a navy liner, or even a brown liner would look nice. But you know, you can use these as one and dones. You can see there's enough kind of punch for you just to be able to do that and you're out the door. But if you want like a full look, there's no doubt about it, they blend really, really well. And if blue's your thing, or you want to make blue your thing, I think this is a good palette to start with because it's got such variety and they're really easy to blend. Now, what I'll do is I'll go off and I'll put some mascara on and let's have a look actually, let's look for the fallout. There's a little bit of glitter there, a little bit. and probably a little bit there. Although I don't think I've been tapping my brush off as much as I did for the emerald, but I think these are probably a little bit, I've got a little bit more fallout. I was going to say a bit more fallouty, but you know what I mean. So what I'll do is I'll go and put some concealer on, I'll put some mascara on, and then we'll go back and, well, I'll come back and we'll do a little roundup of final thoughts. So I've put concealer on and a little bit of the fallout that's kind of been, you know, brushed away. And I've put lots of mascara. I used the Hourglass mascara, which is now reaching its zenith in this tube, and it's got that slight dry but still moist quality, so you get this full, very much full lash effect, which I think suits the look. And I don't know what you think. Let me just cover one eye so you can look at one eye look. And here's the other one. So they're quite different. They're both quite full on. This is a really nice little palette. It's got lots of variety, and it's just that everything, as I've said, is really, really blendable. What's great about the emerald, however, is it's actually more usable, because if you want to completely one day eschew the green element, you've got a lovely soft champagne and you've got some really lovely usable beigey earthy tones. And actually, as I said, this isn't so much emerald as sort of green and sort of more like fern greens, even though there is that sort of that limey colour and then this sort of slightly turquoisey greeny eau de Nil. It's a bit of a mix in there. It's a bit of a mix in there. But I think this is particularly wearable, and it's a good alternative to a very kind of neutral palette, because you have got a little bit of difference, but it's still not going to scare the horses. Still very office friendly, and if one's in a conservative environment, one can still really easily make use of this palette. This one's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to kind of, I think, dip your toe into the blue waters, as it were, of a blue palette, because it's just so easy and you don't have to think. You know, I'm impressed. There isn't, I would honestly say, there isn't a single one of these shades that I would class as a dud, in the sense that I'd think, okay, I'm never going to use this. The only caution that I would sort of sound is in the emerald palette, as you saw, the brown, the dark brown needed, for me anyway, but I have got particularly dark skin around my eyes, but needed some help with a setting spray to sort of get it deeper. But honestly, I don't think that's such a big deal. I used setting spray. I could just have easily used a bit of water, which actually, frankly, before I discovered this Charlotte Tilbury spray, which I really like, I was just using a bit of water from the tap, so I'm sure that would be fine as well on a small brush. But overall, I'm really impressed. Do they give me energy? Well, I think they probably they've certainly re-energized the brand for me. At the risk of, I don't want to in any way deride the Charlotte Tilbury juggernaut, but for me it's a bit more of a new lease of life for the brand, because it's been a while since I've been excited by one of their palettes. The mattes in these are divine. They really are. The shimmers are all lovely in different ways, but really it's the mattes that are the absolute foundation of a good eyeshadow palette for me, and they are just beautiful. They're in that league of Natasha Denona, which is a real compliment, and I'm just saying, £46 for a £9 palette actually doesn't seem terrible value at all when you're using all of them. I really hope that was helpful. I would love to know whether you're tempted by any of these palettes, either the ones I've reviewed or the other four, whether you're tempted, whether you'll consider them, whether perhaps you'd prefer to wait for a sale, and indeed what your thoughts are. And also, have you used Charlotte Tilbury recently, and were you excited by anything that she brought out in the last couple of years? So I would love to hear from you. I love reading and replying to your comments. So thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.